Hello, hello all. I am gl very glad today that we start together the 20th session of Global Oncology Implementing Science Program. That is to say, that we have now a library full of 20 sessions of about 60 intervention and talks and we add for it documents in the web also, slides, PDF and all to make the first library that complete different points of the important topic, how to increase affordability of better value cancer care in the world via scientific approaches. This is the first collection like this as videos. We have before some publications where there are also very interesting references that we refer to it during our session. We have also our reference also is our last book, Global Oncology, Approaching Global Oncology, the Win-Win Model. So this is the first season, and every season will increase more, update more. Already we are preparing now the second season for next October, and we are preparing for the ASCO and for the Global Oncology Implementing Science, ASCO and Global ASCO International webinars. That will be 5 sessions. Will be this to critics, to make critics and to make analyze and to discuss together with the leaders of ASCO and others leaders in the world what we presented precisely in about 6 sessions of this program. As we discussed before, as we explained before, this not the objective is not for just participant and the number of participants, because we have already 320 registered to this program, and even some of them who are will not join us, that like distinguished persons that we need them, but they are at travel or something. Already they have a copy of these videos, and then before I start, and they will have the minutes and the video, complete video that we will do now, and it will be in the library and be access there will be access for all. As I sent to you before, there is playlist for all the previous sessions is available for all, and it will be the first forum, free access for all, with educational material, with discussion, with presentation, covering different topics from radiation oncology to affordability of better value cancer drugs, to cancer, the notion of global oncology, to repurpose drugs, to different aspects. Today, we have the honor that we have with us Professor Christina Kiel. And I'll make introduction first, then we'll listen to the video of Christina Kiel, and to hear from her after her videos what she would like to add, and because really you'll share me to present a great appreciation for the effort of Professor Christina Kiel. Really, it is a marvelous experience in Georgia, in Republic of Georgia, and in other. She's very giving, really distinguished radiation oncologist. If you would like to, Professor Christina, to intervene at any time, tell me. just raise the hand and then I cut if you have your time is restricted or something. Hello. Today, session of the series of clinical radiation oncology of the program Approaching Global Oncology Implementing Science. GOIS is part of the Global Oncology University, GOU. Today, we present to our more clinical radiation oncology service in the world, some positive example with different main challenges in the real world. An introductory notes for example, for the Republic of Georgia, East Europe, Mozambique, Sub-Saharan Africa, and Uruguay. As you know, I am Ahmed Al-Zawawi, a chair of Win-Win Chair of Initiative, chair board of directors of Global Oncology University, the GOU, and here is the link, isodoc.website, and the link to the Global Oncology University. It's stated here also. Founder, president of isodoc Experts in Cancer Without Borders, past president of Aortic African Organization for Research and Training in Cancer, professor of clinical oncology with Scanner University, Ismailia, and chairman of Al Suleiman Radiation and Clinical Oncology Center, Port Said, Egypt. Course director are Professor Kirti Kora, Professor Wilfred Negwa, Professor Stephen Avery, Sifil Haq, Dr. Ibn Goma, Tawfiq Aish, Bashkim Zipri, Luca Incroci, Eduardo Gazab, David Kerr, Christina Stefan, and Ricardo Audicio, and I. See common question along this series. To make radiation oncology, radiotherapy, more accessible, clinical oncology mean with all modalities of cancer treatment, cancer care, radiotherapy more accessible and affordable in the world, is lowering the total cost of cancer care possible without compromising the outcome? Yes, yes, yes. In previous sessions, we gave tens of examples of systemic cancer therapy. The previous session and previous chapters book and our publication, many. We refer to the previous session of this program. Could we double or more the number of treated patients with the existing facility, available radiotherapy facilities at present in the world? Yes, it is possible if we do what is needed. It is possible to increase the number. Then this is the question of this topic particular today. Is it possible? Is it possible to increase the number of well-functioning clinical oncology care services remarkably? Yes, it is possible. If there are many challenges and difficulties to increase the number of well-functioning clinical radiation service in many parts of the world. It's attributed to Albert Einstein that if you are always do what you always did, and I repeat here, and I add here what always said, you will always get what you always got. Also, he said the meaning of negative people find problems are obstacles in every point. So in the Win-Win Initiative, we advocate and applaud really for positive people who find any obstacle or problem an exercise to do and challenge to solve in the real world. There are different challenges and situations. Then there are different needed models and tailored approaches. There's no one single approach or one single track. We stress on the term sustainably well-functioning or equivalent meaning as or equivalent meaning sustainable and well functioning. As the statistics world maps that show with different colors, that show different numbers of machines or servers are not enough at all to show the full picture about the real service offered to patients in the real world. As presented in previous sessions, tens of scientific examples to increase access to affordability of better value cancer care in different modalities. We are glad today to present 3 positive different examples to increase number of well-functioning clinical radiation oncology services and to overcome obstacles. One, Professor Christina Kiel, USA, Chicago, and the new cancer center in Kutaisi, Republic of Georgia, East Europe. Chapeau to all, we repeat, chapeau to all colleagues in Kutaisi, the local heroes. And here is the reference in our last book, and this link, the link to the video. Professor Francisco Alves, Portugal, and the new Department of Clinical Radiation Oncology in Mozambique, Sub-Saharan Africa. Chapeau again, chapeau to all clinical colleagues in Mozambique and Mercurius Health. And here is the link to video and reference in chapter 37 in our last book. Professor Alvaro Luango Cespedes, Uruguay, and the experience from Uruguay to lease, to rent new accelerators in Uruguay. Reference chapter in chapter 42, Approaching Global Oncology. This is the photo of Professor Christina Kiel Cancer Center in Kutaisi. Yes, it is a reality now. And also there are free consultation of Professor Christina Kiel and Georgian oncologists from oncology for oncology patients in the Caucasus Medical Center. Christina Kiel Cancer Center, which is reality now, and you can find this link to this center. Christina Kiel Oncology Center is the sole specialized hospital serving the West Georgia region, providing advanced radiation and medical therapy service in one space. This is what we advocate always for, clinical oncology. The clinical most advanced medical equipment, including the latest linear accelerator, which provides targeted radiation in hard to reach cancer affected areas and minimize complications. Georgian and international doctors from Europe and America collaborate with a multidisciplinary team to discuss complex medical cases. Chapeau to all colleagues. This list of colleagues, I am afraid to not pronounce it well. And here is the list, and you'll find it in the website, also in slides, PDF slides available to all. Georgia is a relatively small country, one of the previous republics in Soviet Union. It has approximately 3.7 million people and a unique language. So this is one of the barrier language. It's not Russian. This is Georgian language. It's a unique language. It ranks 70th on the Human Development Index. The great work of Professor Christina Kiel in Kutaisi is an excellent example of the type of support and meaningful interactions with local teams and populations that we encourage in the win-win movement. That is to say, we appreciate works, advice, and consultations that are translated into a tangible increase in clinical oncology service for patients by local colleagues and stakeholders anywhere in the world. This is of more value than hundreds of talks, declaration, conferences, publications, commissions, festivals, days of cancer and plans and publication. Please consider that. Please consider that the 10 recommendation of
Professor Christina Kiel, the provision of technical, scientific, and educational support to the doers. That is to say, local colleagues is mandatory in order to make progress and record achievements in the forthcoming years. You are all invited to help. This is from Professor Christina Kiel on behalf of the colleagues also in Georgia. From her experience, Professor Christina Kiel suggests that the international involvement in the developing world should be based on an intimate involvement in the daily functioning of the development. Volunteer physicians need to learn about social issues and local limitations that impact the effective delivery of good medical care. Here we have the pleasure to present the video of lecture of Professor Christina Kiel. It is available. It will be also available on click on this link and reference also. I would like to add that note that in order to consider the progress achieved in Kutaisi, Georgia, in the field of radiation oncology, you are invited to compare it with the previous situation in Georgia, as documented in the report of our ICDOC mission in Georgia from 29 July 2000. I have the honor to share this mission of ICDOC with distinguished colleagues from the United States, from Germany, from Poland, from India. Pages 13 and 14 available at this link. And also available on this link. I'll also see the 3wisodoc.org under ISODOC's experts. My personal comments. Please allow me to present our deepest appreciation to Professor Christina Kiel and to the local colleagues in Kutaisi, Republic of Georgia. They are the local heroes. After
Yes, yeah, I would like now to introduce the Professor Christina Kiel in some comments first before her video, and her video is ready. Professor Christina Kiel. So we'll show the video, waiting your intervention. Please unmute the mic. Unmute the mic. No, Khaled, unmute your mic, please.
I'll present Francisco Alves, and this we have a short moments, some moments for the video of Professor Christina Kiel. Welcome.
Thank you for the opportunity to present my impressions and experience in the Republic of Georgia. The country is dramatically beautiful with two sets of mountain ranges that have isolated the country economically and perpetuated wars and feuds. In 2015, I was invited to open a new radiation therapy department in Kutaisi. Evix Corporation renovated an old Soviet hospital with its intent to open a cancer center in a desert of such facilities in western Georgia. Kutaisi is the second largest city in Georgia. It was a manufacturing city, but when the Soviets left, most factories were raided for anything saleable and thus closed. Unemployment is rampant. The little figures show where there are radiation therapy units in the country. Most are clustered in the capital of Tbilisi, where all young people want to live. All are privately owned, and 2 are owned by Turkish enterprises. 1 is a joint venture between state and foreign investors. Georgia is a very small country. Its language is unique. Poverty is rampant, with 32% living on less than $2.50 per day. Accessibility to cancer treatment is not only based on distance to treatment, but as to whether it's affordable. There is a one-cost fee in Kutaisi. Radiation treatment costs approximately $2,800 whether you receive 1 fraction or 45 fractions. There is no difference in cost between simple electron fields, VMAT, or SRS treatment. The government has a national plan which covers 80 to 90% of treatment costs. Diagnostic imaging, surgery, pathology, and chemotherapy incur its own costs and have similar coverage. PET-CT scans and new biological drugs are not covered by the government insurance plan. A consultation will cost the patient approximately $3 or $4. The patient may owe as much as $200 to $300 after receiving government aid. To 25% of patients do not return for their treatment due to financial considerations. I think you can appreciate on this slide that the cost of treatment is more than many people will make per month. My colleague Dr. Kelishvili and I started a foundation where we will pay for the copay so that no one will be denied treatment. Approximately 200 patients have received aid since we started the foundation in 2006. Myself, the members of the staff, and Dr. Kelishvili from Chicago, surrounding our first patient who was treated in 2015. The equipment is impressive with a Trilogy, TrueBeam, image guidance, QA equipment, CT simulator with large bore and 4D capabilities, and immobilization equipment. Varian sold the equipment in English. Many of the therapists have very little knowledge of English. Since there are no cost issues as to the type of treatment, since there is one cost for all treatments, most patients are actually treated with IMRT and VMAT, especially since daily imaging can be done. Qualified personnel is a huge issue. EVICS initially thought they could run the department with 1 physician, 2 physicists, and 1 therapist treating up to 40 patients per day. A physician who had treated patients in an old Soviet hospital with a cobalt machine and no access to imaging was hired in order to remain legal, as he was the only one with a license in radiation oncology. A resident physician, 2 PhD nuclear physicists, and 1 radiology tech were sent to Belarus for 3 months training. Unfortunately, there is little formal training, and the quality of that is poor. Recently, the residency requirement was extended to 4 years. Residents have to pay for the privilege of being a resident. Most residents have second jobs. EVICS has provided grants which require that the residents work for EVICS after they complete residency and obtain licensure. There are formal guidelines for residency training, but in name only. Physicists are trained on the job. In my department, Dr. Kelishvili provides formal training by Skype lectures. There are some young physicists who are currently in training. We brought a radiation therapist from Chicago who spent 2 weeks training potential therapists. Salaries are higher in radiation therapy than a primary care physician could obtain straight out of medical school. As a result, the radiation therapists include a bright group of individuals who are radiation biologists, dentists, and recent medical school graduates, and they all want to become radiation oncologists eventually. Education is a big issue. Many physicians speak very poor English. Access to textbooks and journals is limited. There is no resident oversight or ongoing evaluation. There is no one to give lectures other than me. There is one examination at the end of residency. Most of the questions are published on the internet, and no one has ever failed the exam. There is no continuing education requirements in Georgia. As a result, only those physicians who are motivated keep up with their specialties. The non-English speakers do not benefit from international meetings. The young physicians are faced with impossible situations. They are involved in all aspects of cancer evaluation and treatment. Because healthcare is cost prohibitive to many individuals in Georgia, many patients do not seek help until their cancers are advanced. The following slides illustrate that. Cancers present when they become ugly, smell, or cause symptoms. There are a few surgeons who can approach these problems with advanced surgical techniques. My role in the department has evolved. When I was present for the first patient, we went through teaching, especially on how to simulate, how to make immobilization devices, how to document, what to contour, what to consider treatment planning, and what goals and treatment plans we should have. The English-speaking resident and I created a list of cancers, what doses to prescribe, and OARs just to start with. As news of the American doctor reached the public, we were inundated with consultations of all sorts. I lectured each morning to all the staff on the most common type of cancers. I now visit about 3 times per year for 1 to 3 week periods. I find it useful to sit with the physicists during treatment planning to discuss concerns. There are new residents with whom I spend time. The resident situation is discouraging because the newest residents have poor English. I often see VIP consultations, even from Tbilisi. I bring textbooks and inexpensive medications, and sometimes equipment that cannot be obtained easily. From home, I have a remote access into the treatment planning computers. In the morning when I open my emails, this is what I see. I will have patient presentations. I will return the emails with suggestions and management issues. We discuss management, review contours, and check treatment plans. I will often get a call for more urgent problems. If we can manage it, we will have a conference at least twice a month. I have come to love Georgia and its people. The experience has been wonderful for me. I feel that I've improved the quality of cancer care internationally. I have 2 physicians of whom I am especially proud who will finish training soon, who in turn are motivated to improve the quality of care in their country. I strongly recommend that an individual, or better, a group of individuals, adopt a specific program. One needs to visit to develop a relationship. No one suffers from an additional education. Textbook and electronic resources are important. Patient reviews and chart rounds are invaluable. Constant conversation with the physicians and physicists help. My friend Dr. Tamer Rafat established a fellowship in the United States for 1 month for residents. 3 of my Georgia residents have gone and learned much about how to manage patient and departments, as well as learning how to treat individuals efficiently. There is a wealth of patients with advanced cancers, and the opportunity for research is great. Thank you for the opportunity to address this fine audience.
Professor Christina Kiel, if you can unmute your mic, or we continue. I think that will continue, and then we'll have you'll have the time after if you can unmute your mic.
In 2014, we started a project in Mozambique to make radiotherapy and cancer treatment available to those in need. For the people, by the people, to increase quality of life. We install all the equipment, provide training, follow the project development from start to finish. With an experienced team that works on location and remotely.
A colaboração entre estas equipas on-site e à distância garante a qualidade dos trabalhos realizados e a otimização da equipa no cliente.
We assure everything works properly in total safety. We do it in partnership with local communities and institutions. With respect for local culture, seeking the greater good, together.
Desde a componente técnica, a componente dos enfermeiros e a componente médica são pessoas jovens, bastante motivadas e incrivelmente treinadas. Acredito que esse serviço fará toda a diferença para o país.
For better health in Africa and everywhere.
Quando unimos esforços, é quando os obstáculos diminuem.
É verdade que necessitamos criar ajustes, investindo tempo em conhecer as pessoas.
É preciso ser gente de confiança e com capacidade de instalar confiança para o trabalho.
Só assim podemos caminhar juntos.
Mercurius Health. Obsession for life.
Now continue, and then with two comments on Professor Francisco Alves and his last communication since few days, the update, and after about the experience from Uruguay. Three different experiences among many.
And the new department, the Department of Clinical Radiation Oncology in Mozambique, Sub-Saharan Africa. Chapeau for all local colleagues in Mozambique and Mercurius Health, among local colleagues. I afraid to pronounce it wrongly, so sorry, I'll say it, but pardonnez-moi. Arcibello Nito, Sara Velha, Andrea Lucas, Sara Navarro, Daniel Concha Alves, Catarina Suto. Here's the link on the local colleagues in Mozambique and Mercurius Health present their experience from a real-life project, identifying significant obstacles, contextual consideration, and unforeseen challenges as lessons learned, recommendation, and identified successes. Purchasing equipment for the radiation oncology is an issue, but the bigger issue is how to make a clinical oncology unit functional and how to sustainably run it at high quality levels. The shortage of local staff, radiation oncologists, medical physicists, technicians, radiation therapists, and nurses is a known problem. The second wing of the win-win initiative requires catalytic action and search for solutions that can increase access to high functional clinical oncology service in the underserved region in the world. This also means don't repeat and telling long tales about the problems, gaps, tragic shortage of clinical oncology care for the majority of cancer patients in the world. We know. which usually just as an introduction is okay, but not to be the whole issue. Which introduction for the magnitude of the problem, but not the whole issue and the whole topic, which usually ends with some wishes or recommendation or agendas or dates for promise, but that are mostly repeated later in other articles or declaration after a time. Rather, the notion of the win-win movement implies a search for practical examples of solution to different parts of the world, the real world. There are many people. There are many experts. There are many people who can do a lot for that. So, from scientific point of view, from business point of view, from economic point of view, from industry point of view, from all stakeholders, there are many things to do. And then what we should not stop to repeat the same tragic problem. And this is all, but it should be some positive things. For the short explanatory video, click on in successive clinical successive global health catalyst summit win-win initiative sessions in Harvard Medical School, Boston, USA. Professor Francisco Alves has indicated in presentation and videos that Mercurius Health, Portugal, intervened by sending teams of radiation clinical oncology, engineers, physicians, technicians, and radiation therapists to non-functioning equipped radiotherapy services. Not only do they ensure the good functioning and running of radiotherapy department, but they ensure that the local teams are trained. Their contract is usually for 4 years, but Francisco Alves stressed that he considered Mercurius Health would be more successful in their mission if they were to gradually retrieve their non-local staff before the end of the 4-year period, so that the local colleagues could assume the complete running of the department. I have the pleasure, really, on presenting to you the last email from Professor Francisco Alves a few days ago. He said that I will not be able to attend as I will be traveling. The most important that is the radiotherapy service at Mozambique National Hospital is now run autonomously by the local team, Mercurius Health, by the local team. Mercurius Health only providing remote support when and if necessary, in very special, particularly difficult cases. Our remote radiotherapy dosimetrist planning service has also been implanted successfully through our proprietary data security platform, Mercurius Connect. My personal comment, again, allow me to say deepest appreciation to Mercurius Health and to local colleagues, our colleagues in Mozambique, who are the local heroes. Please break for some moments for the video. Three, Professor Alvaro Luango Cespedes, Uruguay, and experience from Uruguay to lease, to rent, that's been to rent, new accelerator in Uruguay. The reference 42 in our book Approaching Global Oncology. Introductory note, in Approaching Global Oncology, in chapter 5, I cited that in chapter 5, mobilization of resources for cancer care service in low and middle income countries in Africa, myths, realities, and hopes. This is the name of the chapter. It's slightly exciting, but exciting. Yes. Myths, realities, and hopes, because there are many myths. There are many business models and examples for building cancer centers. Select what works for you in a well-studied and transparent way. We give an example of leased equipment in a radiation oncology department in Uruguay. Moreover, as we are tackling issues in the real life, we see here some of the financing models that have been proposed by leading radiotherapy equipment manufacturers. Again, this is was provided by some leading manufacturers, but this is not exhaustive. There are many other examples not to fall in the myth that there are no resources, it's impossible, tragic. No, we said there are many others. For example, this is provided by a leading company. They are responsible for this, not us, but they are what was presented. A 5-year loan of low interest rates based on an export credit agency ensuring the risk. B, a model of 15 down payment, 10 settlements biannually with 6 months grace period for the first installment. C, extended payment terms covered by LC 360 days. A payment for the equipment is made 1 year after installation, giving the clinic time to ramp up and get some income. D, leased equipment with a capped lower lease price plus an additional share of income over the capped amount. E, per patient repayment of equipment with the minimum number to be paid and additional fees for patients over the cap. F, covered by 5-year extended warranty as required by the bank. G, service is included in price, certainly security for the end user, as company would want the machine to work in order to get paid back. Otherwise, it is not paid, be paid. Classic and innovative examples should be encouraged to mobilize every possible resources, financial and human resources, and to open all sorts of constructive partnership in win-win scenario that cope with the real world. Professor Alvaro Luango, CPD's Director of National Cancer Institute, Uruguay, presented radiotherapy equipment purchase or lease, to buy or not to buy. He stressed on that access to radiotherapy technology is a global problem, particularly for low and middle income countries. The design of strategy to improve access to technology, it is necessary to consider the particular social and economic aspect of the country, of different countries. Linear accelerator expensive, and its preventive and corrective maintenance is also expensive, as you all know. As a consequences of the growing demand of radiotherapy equipment, it is necessary to analyze carefully the acquisition options. Uruguay has a good rate of linear accelerator, but equipment replacement, upgrading, and productivity are real challenges. Productivity, so it's not just a number. They have number per patient is not far from the numbers of USA, for example. But the equipment replacement, upgrading, productivity are real challenges. Productivity. We have developed a pilot experience at the National Cancer Institute. This is Professor Alvaro Luango again, and he said that we have leased LINAC technology as an alternative to purchase equipment and include servicing and planned preventive maintenance, corrective maintenance, upgrades, spare parts, and its upgrading over time. In our case, the terms of the agreement are 10 years. It's important. As a result of the economic analysis of the process performance, a general description of the acquisition process is offered, analyzing the advantage and possible disadvantage of the lease. Particularly, the cost per treatment and impact on the industrial budget are known. It's essential that the technical personnel participate in the detailed discussions and negotiation on the content of the lease. From 5-year experience in Uruguay of leasing a radio machine, we find the total cost of buying or leasing are approximately equal. The final is equal, but the sum of the real experience is the benefit obtained as follows. No capital is needed to start. Immediate introduction of new technology. Immediate. Service and spare parts are included in the lease contracts. Guaranteed reduction of service downtime for patient. In their case, downtime did not exceed 2% of the operational times, which is good. The 10-year contract includes as commitment to an upgrade after 5 years. Professor Alvaro Luango Cespedes present their experience for the attention of interested stakeholders in the world, but they emphasize that every situation each country needs to determine whether to buy or to lease based on what would be the best fit for its unique circumstances and what would result in increasing the availability of modern radiotherapy cancer care for its patients. We are honored to present here the video lecture of Professor Alvaro Cespedes. And finally, before you listen to the video, finally, it is not a matter of number of services or maps of different colors reflecting number of machines, but it is a matter of how many millions of human beings with cancer who get accessible, better value cancer care, and the number of sustainable and well-functioning service. This is according to the win-win initiative, as we agreed together many times. Please send your feedback and comments. These are the links. Thank you for your attention. And we are waiting your feedback and suggestions and opinion and new ideas. And these are just examples. There are many examples. And thanks to you all. And now the video of Professor Alvaro Luango Cespedes. Thank you all, and bye-bye. Bye-bye. Going forward, hand in hand. Hand in hand. Professor Alvaro Luango, he will speak about implemented model, some other model for implementation of radiotherapy on Uruguay. Please, Dr. Alvaro Luango. Thank you very much.
Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. Thank you for the possibility to talk with you about a project. It's a project, really. It's a project because this project has 5 years. It's necessary to understand our country. Our country is a small country in Latin America. We have more or less 3 million inhabitants between two very big countries, Argentina and Brazil. We have a different political. Today in the morning, our friend Eduardo talked about that we have a president that is oncology. But this is important. But the important is to think different. You know this map. This map is the number of radiotherapy machines per million inhabitants, the IAEA, no? And Uruguay is another country, but the situation is not economical. is in the government for many, many years think different. Think different, but if you think only in the number of linear accelerators, it's not enough. I don't understand because the international organisms talk about numbers, because it's necessary to know the technology, not the numbers. It's necessary to consider another factors. Consider the yield of manufacture, the available techniques of energy, collimator, etc. But also it's necessary to consider the analysis of the you have quality management system, quality control, number of simulators, a qualified personnel between others. 15 machines, but our country don't have the possibility to do a good calibration. It's necessary to send the dosimeters outside the country. 2 years ago, we have a new secondary standard laboratory. This is very important. I think this is the more important that you have the possibility to do the calibration of your machine in your country, because this dependence is very dangerous. This question is very important. What the international organization do for technology transfer? Yes, a lot. But today, one person to talk, go to Vienna, return to Vienna. Go to Vienna, return to Vienna. It's very important. But I think that another speaker talked about Einstein also. I talk about Einstein. It's necessary to change two things. If no change, it's not possible to obtain results different. Another question. What are the politics of technology update? Exist? Which country and how they accompany the inversion of radiotherapy? It's very difficult that the country, the government, accompany the inversion. How the country update the cost of radiotherapy? Because you change the technology, you change the cost. Many countries don't change the cost. In the inversion radiotherapy, it no exists. I talk about the private, for example. How do we insert the new technology? This is a very important problem. Thinking different. 1/3 of the cancer can be prevented. The countries if not prevent cancer is a bad condition for the control of the cancer. Early and time diagnosis is technology transfer. I want to talk about technology transfer. The clock is terrible. I'm the first speaker with the clock. To buy or not to buy? This is the question. We are not the first. Another reality. Because another people think the same form. Our conclusion may be extrapolated, but they need an analyze. Why? Because the reality of each country is different. This is the reality for my country, but I don't know this reality is really extrapolated for another country in another situation. But it's one experience. And this experience is interesting because I study the cost in the budget in my hospital. The experience of the National Cancer Institute beginning because 5 years ago it was necessary to update radiotherapy technology. We decided to lease and not to buy new machine. We leased the last technology available in that moment through international bidding. Why do you think about the solution? We need the necessary fund for purchase we are not able. The hospital say, I don't have the money. Okay. You have guarantee? No, I don't have the possibility to my government say, I have guarantee for this inversion. But I need introducing the technology. How soon possible? It's very difficult and expensive to have properly preventive maintenance and corrective maintenance of our equipment. Clearly, it's a problem for the public health. It's important to take in consideration the problem relative to technology update in the near future. In the budget total of the Institute of my hospital, the oncology drug is 42%. Cost of the drug. The medical material, 8%. In the radiotherapy machine, the two accelerator, 8%. This is the reality of the budget in my hospital in Uruguay. This is a number that we have for the calculation. We have two accelerators, we have you have the numbers. We have more or less 100 applications per day per LINAC. Application is what push the button of the machine, or the clip, no? One, you need 4 for example, for a pelvis treatment, no? The LINAC list is more or less $10 for each moment that you push the button. What is the total cost of the radiotherapy application? The push button. The push button is $30. Because in this cost, do you have all the people that work, the energy, the parts, all. But the lease is 9.91. It's 32% of the application value. This is the point that is very interesting. Cost. If you compare lease and purchase, you notice that the cost is similar. Weight is similar in these 5 years. It's possible in the next 5 years, the cost of the lease is increased, and the cost of another machine decrease. But I don't know. This is our experience now. Highlights. No capital is needed. Immediate introduction of the technology. Serving as part included in the lease contract. Is the point more important. 36, 35, 34. Guarantee of continuous treatment. In our case, for contract, 2% of the time operation. Thank you for your attention. And the last word. It's possible that the solutions are not the excellent solution, but I think this is possible to try to use this concept. To buy or not to buy, I prefer to lease. Thank you.
Now, I would like to hear from you, Professor Bashkim, your comments, because you have a great experience in North Macedonia and in the world also, in United States and other countries, and Germany. Your comment will be very valuable. Your short comments.
Yeah, dear Ahmed. Hi, everyone. The last video showed a very interesting approach for radiotherapy machines. And in fact, it should be taken in consideration, especially if there are difficulties and a lot of bureaucracy in supplying with such machines. And also from our country, we have also the experience in the region that not necessarily having many machines, you increase the quality of radiation treatment. In our country, we have 6, 7 machines now radiation machines, Linux, and we have kind of 1.8 million people. And you can imagine that only 3 of them are functional and all the others are non-functional. Not that the machines are broken, but the machines are not put in working condition due to different problems, mainly lack of specialized professionals. So it's not necessary that buying machines you increase the quality of treatment. That is one approach. And then the other side, we have the problem that Professor Alvarez showed is that in countries like in South America, you do not have the possibility to buy these machines. And then leasing, it seems really a very effective approach for patient treatment. However, we should see also in the other side that this is solving the problem in short term. Long term, we have to find another approach for this huge number of population to have access to radiation machines.
Thank you very much, Professor Baskim Debari from North Macedonia, and who is one of the leaders of the Win-Win Initiative, who is one of the co-director of this course. So as you see, the number of participants leave is not much, but the number of registered and who receive regularly everything is more than 320 persons nowadays. But we need more. We need more than 300. We need all of you to diffuse this message. And as you see now, we have in the first season sometimes a part of different points. Concept of global oncology, the win-win model, the cancer care, the clinical oncology, what is the new technology in radiation oncology, electronic brachytherapy. We also presented flash therapy. We presented a series of lecture about particularly about chemotherapy, immunotherapy, and how to lower the cost of this treatment enormously, really, without compromising the outcome on patient. And this time, this is we are about to be the last part of the of this program, the season. We have still the exam, also the ASCO. The ASCO international webinars that we would like to share together, all of us, you Bashkim and Shaban and all of us and Dr. Fifi and all, share with us together in this part. This part, the last part, this consider the real problems is not, we discussed before the technique, the hypofractionation, the other things, the immunotherapy, the radiobiomaterial, but now how to this could be offered and what is the technical problem. This what we showed today is not all all problems, but it is just examples of solutions. There are many other solutions. Some of these solutions we tackled already in our book, but it is not exclusive. There are many solutions. We can think, all of us, about that. This is very important. Otherwise, we'll stop as we are. Professor Khalid Abdelkarim, I would like to hear from you. And please consider yourself as ambassador for this message. We have all the videos, we have all the sessions. Diffuse it everywhere on your behalf. You are one of the leaders since the start of SEMCO and all. Professor
Thank
Khalid,
you, sir,
please,
for this considered words, and sure, the win-win initiative needs a lot of propagation. And again, I would consider also a deep contact with the officials, because many of those suggestions and lectures that have been presented today will need an infrastructure of legalization also for the leasing, for purchasing. You know, the situation is a little bit complicated, and it is not only scientists talk to scientists. We will need very much to propagate this call to the officials who are endorsing and giving money and putting plans for the future. This would put the dreams into reality. I think so.
Thank you very much. But this part today was about these problems that needs maybe legalization or something. We need also, if you please participate in the ASCO webinar about repurposing, because it's not the question of repurposing drugs only, but how to have the license for these drugs. And you know that there is a fight against this. There's a fight, a big fight, but should be there is no other way except to find something affordable or accessible to patients. Otherwise, it will be very tragic to all, not only to a low middle income country. Other thing, please, Dr. Khalid, you speak about legalization because you are in many committees now in the country level. Yes, but please think that sometimes you have to think widely to solve a local problem. So to think in other problems in other countries, and not only maybe you find difficulties here, but in the other country you don't find, so you can inspire from it. That is the value of working globally and working internationally, because we inspire, we learn from other experience. That is why we presented today experience from just examples from East Europe, from Latin America, from other countries, and you see that from Mozambique, and you see in every one of them the problem is different, and so on in other countries. So but we inspire and we learn even in the local level. For this, even when treat breast cancer, for example, as we are clinical oncology, when you tackle together the problem of triple negative breast cancer and the difference between different races, different between genes, about treatment, about you discover better treatment. Really, there are better treatment for our patient, our own patient. A hormonal therapy for breast cancer, you will see that the pharmacogenomic background and the tamoxifen in the United States is not like tamoxifen in India. I speak about tamoxifen because it was the first among the first drugs, but after that it's become more complicated because it's not the same effect, and you measure even for drugs like we use it as usual, like capistatin toxicity in United States is not like toxicity in China, because of and surely is not like Egypt, and so on. And there is many factors behind this. So working internationally, we can treat our own patient in your own clinic, in your own university better, and to know better scope. So we need your involvement, deep involvement, and you will not lose for this. You will not you will not your patients and your business and your busy work when committees, etc., will be not less, but you can give more, believe me, and you have very smart mind. So we expect from you a lot.
Thank you for your confidence, sir, and hope to propagate this to many of our younger colleagues to start and let me put it in a simple phrase, a public opinion in between the medical milieu of oncology specialists that would push things forward as you hope, inshallah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And as you exactly said, the younger generation, my generation is going, but the younger generation, the hope is in younger generation with their activity to propagate for this and to build on this and to make it bigger and bigger and bigger. This is, we really we should count on the younger generation. Thank you, Khaled. I would like to hear from Shaban or Marwa or Kahwak who would like to add something. Shaban.
Yes, Professor.
Yes, hello.
Yes, hello.
Uh,
Thank you for the good presentation. On my perspective, I see the presentation on the leasing of the machines as a good input for those countries or facilities that cannot purchase at once, but also as Dr. Khalid said, it needs a government involvement and the policymakers to, because those are the ones that are going to fund, even if you suggest or you give an idea of leasing or purchasing the equipments. And they are very helpful because in most of the low middle income country, I'm from Tanzania specifically, but we have a low number of these machines and a big load of patients. So ideas like that might be helpful, but we need to propagate and advise on the stakeholders and policymakers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bearing in mind that we are not propagating for the idea of leasing particularly. This leasing is just one example of many, many solutions. And
Yes.
to say, yes, and that we in chapter 5 in our book, if you like, I can send to you. There are many myths that there are no resources. The resources are a lot. I send you also something I added in the PDF of this presentation. If you like that, I sent you this presentation of today with links to all videos and with links to a lecture keynote speech was presented in Harvard, and you will see that my brother Professor Pashkim presented me in Harvard, if you remember that. So it is it's a lecture of half a minute, half an hour, and in presence of many persons from Congress, from Harvard University, from other universities in the United States, from the president of CEO of Varian, of at that time also a director in for Merck, and from Electar, from others. So we discussed frankly the scientific point, and people from nanocare, from nano cancer, and nanoparticles in cancer. So I'll send you the link for that, and you see that there are many resources, not as we say as the government. By the way, the problem that we ask people to solve problem, and those people who are part of the problem. So, as Khalid said, we should be propagate and propose solutions, many solutions, and not to wait that they accept or not. Since decades, and will continue, the gap between what is available and what is required is broaden, and in the next 10 years will broaden more. It will be more tragic and no other solution. So when we adopt the win-win, we adopt the future. You adopt, there is no other solution except to lower the cost, to sell more, to treat more. Companies will gain more, and you treat more, and you educate more, and everything is more. Otherwise, this greedy situation, not by companies, by all, by even by doctors, by clinical oncology, by all, that will lead to collapse. So what we are saying is not idealistic. We are not angel, okay? But we say this is the realistic solution to save, and to save the future of our younger generations, our kids and grandson and daughters. now I'm grandfather. So I say for the future, for their future also. Okay, so we count on you. We count on you. We are part of the solution and not part of the problem, because sometimes we are part of the problem. By the way, is there any other comment from you before closing the session? Dr. Ali Abbas, Dr. Marwa. Dr. Kahwa.
Hello, good evening, everybody. This is Dr.
Yeah.
Kahakwa from Tanzania.
Hello.
Hello, Professor. Yeah, I am very grateful for this session, for this topic. Very interesting. You know, every day we get to see a lot of possibilities in this field. We are very new in this field, oncology field. We are residents in clinical oncology. So this is actually broadening our mind and showing us possibilities. How to utilize whatever we have at the maximum capacities for the benefit of the patient. And we are learning a lot, and we're also expecting a lot. So with all these lectures we have gained and this in a wonderful library that we have already online, we're going to utilize it effectively for the win-win-win. And this is going to be possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We count on you. Raise the flag, please. You are the younger generation. Don't underestimate yourself. You are the future. Raise the flag. Raise the flag.
Yes, Professor.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there any other comment? Finally, you have.
Everybody.
Yes. Ali Abbas. Yes. Okay. Hello.
Hello, sir. How are you?
How are you?
I consider myself as an old generation. I will retire after 3 years, but really I'm graduated since 2006. We were used Cobalt 16. I'm a clinical oncologist from Iraq. Then I'm shifted from another governorate in which there is no linear accelerator devices. So I was only working as a medical oncologist, really. Lately, hopefully, we received new devices from Elekta, Versa HD, and I think Synergy. So I should catch up the late advances in this technology. So I'm now working to get from my young colleagues how to work on these machines, really. And this is really a big, you can say, a big challenge for me at this age, to learn how to work and do a planning system on Versa HD, you know.
Yes.
This is my problem. I would like to expose only. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ali. Count on us in communications. There are many good people in the world who would like to connect together. And you have with you now, for example, Professor Bashkim Zebri, who is an excellent physicist in North Macedonia. But he have a good caliber in medical physics in Germany and in Harvard also, and he can connect you with also with a colleague Suras Siful Haq, who was the president of the one of us also is the president of the American Association for Medical Physics, with Wilfred Negua, the director of this show, in John Hopkins, Stephen Avery, who is really like very much education, and he's very dedicated for the science of education in physics, in radiation oncology, and many things in Pennsylvania and worldwide. So there are many possibilities. Gulam in Germany, Professor Gulam, and there are many. So count on us, and we can connect you. And you are not alone. Other thing about your age, I am also old, but this means that you will have more time to lead this initiative in all domain. Is not only in the part of electa and radiation machines, working machine, but medical oncology, in immunotherapy, in the future of cancer care, navigation of patient, cancer care in general. Be a leader, and we count on you from now. Okay?
Thank you very much, sir.
Please send to me, and I'll put your information for all, and we are together. We are together, hand in hand, as we say. And best wishes to you and all our brothers and colleagues in Iraq and everywhere in the world.
Thanks a lot, sir. I really appreciate it.
Okay. Is there any other comment from all our colleagues? Okay, I will close now. Thank you very much, and we'll keep sending you via the email, via the web, our messages, and we are preparing now. We'll take some time to prepare. We are preparing a lot for the ASCO International Webinar with the course, and to comment on this. It's not enough to that we say some session and speak and goodbye. No, the material of discussion will be the sessions that we presented and we discussed together, and to hear from the leaders of ASCO, from leader of ESMO, leader of other organizations, for Astro, and all their feedback, and people from Oxford, from everywhere. So it is very important not to just these messages pass quickly like this, and this is all. No, it is a start. It is a beginning point. It is start point. We count on you, and please allow me to close the session now, and we are together, connected all the time, and I can say goodbye, bye-bye, bye-bye all.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Baskim. We count on you, my brother.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.